So each one of us, you and I, who take our identity as a separate self, we're the small s, okay? With a small s, with which is consciousness that is localized and individual. We think it's individual and separate and localized. Am I making sense? Are you following me? But this isn't really separate to this. This is the all that is. And it's the same colour. See, I made it the same colour. At first I thought, well, you wouldn't be able to see it. But then I thought, well, that's the whole point. You can't see it. Because if I put the little self against the big self here, it just sort of disappears into it, because it's an indivisible whole, really. It's never separate. So even though we think we're living separate lives, and I'm called Jill and you're called John, or whoever it is, whoever is watching this video, we've got names and we believe that we're all separate from each other. And in this belief, this false belief of separation, yeah, we feel isolated, we feel lonely, we feel cut off from God. God, by the way, could be another word you use for self, with a capital S. And so we think that we're all separate. So you've got to imagine now, I have lots of these. I can't hold them all up, but if I had, 7 billion of these, then they would all be warring each other, fighting each other, falling out with each other, trying to compete with each other for resources and so on. We interact thinking that we're interacting with someone other to ourself, but in actual fact, it's all self. It's all self. It's all just us. Jesus was always trying to teach us this. Love your neighbour as yourself. Love your neighbour, the other little self that you think is separate to you. Love them as yourself, because they are yourself. This is how you keep the commandment. This is how you return to God, because you just have to grasp this. And it all is summed up with love. In love, love your neighbour as yourself, and love God, love self. Love the bigger picture, love the smaller picture, and see what's really happening in this little masquerade of separateness, this playing out of this game, this little story, these separate stories unfolding at the same time, but really all being eternally linked and indivisible from the whole. And then if you grasp that, you will not war anymore. You'll not fight with each other anymore. Everything changes.